Good morning and welcome to today's subcommittee on landmarks, public siting, and dispositions. At this time, we ask that everyone please silence your devices. And if you would like to have in-person testimony, please come to the Sergeant at Arms table and sign up a testimony slip. Chair Phillies, we're ready to begin.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a meeting of the Subcommittee on Landmarks, Public Sightings, and Dispositions. I'm Councilmember Oswald Feliz, and I'm the acting chair of the subcommittee. Before we begin with today's agenda, I'll remind everyone that this meeting is being held in a hybrid format. For members of the public who wish to testify remotely, we ask that you first register online, and you may do so now by visiting www.council.nyc.gov/landuse to sign up, and then sign into the Zoom and remain signed in until you have testified. For anyone with us today in person and wishing to testify, if you have not already done so, please see the sergeant's table to fill out a speaker's card, and we'll call your name at the appropriate time. For anyone wishing to submit written testimony on the items being heard today, we ask that you please send an email to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov, including the LU number and/or the project name in the subject line of your email. Video and audio testimony will not be accepted. I remind members of the public that this is a government proceeding and that decorum shall be observed at all times. As such, members of the public shall remain silent unless and until called to testify. The witness table is reserved for people who wish to testify. No video recording or photography is allowed from the witness table. Further, members of the public may not present audio or video recordings as testimony, but may submit transcripts of such recordings to the sergeant for inclusion in the hearing table. I'll now open a public hearing for a pre-considered LU item for Haddett Point, 547 to 754, seat primary intermediary school facility, an application submitted by the New York City School Construction Authority for the site selection of a new school facility in Councilmember Caban's district in Queens. Appearing today on this proposal is Andrea Bender, thank you for joining us, and also Kelly Murphy. Those wishing to testify remotely must register online by visiting the council's website at council.nyc.gov/landuse. council.nyc.gov/landuse. Panelists, please ensure that your microphone is on, which is indicated by the red light. Council, would you please administer that information?
Panelists, would you please raise your right hand and state your name for the record?
Kelly Murphy.
Andrea Bender.
Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions?
I do.
Yes.
Thank you. For the viewing public, if you need an accessible version of this presentation, please send an email request to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. And now the applicant team may begin.
Good morning, Acting Chair Feliz and members of the subcommittee. As I said, I'm Kelly Murphy. I'm the Senior Director of Real Estate for the School Construction Authority, and I'm joined by Andrea Bender, the Vice President of External Affairs at the SCA. I don't know if someone's going to put up the presentation, or should I continue without it? Oh, maybe it's going, there it is. If we can go to the next page, please. We're pleased to present a proposed new 547 to 754 seat primary intermediate school on the New York Housing Authority's Astoria Houses campus. The site is located just near the East River and just east of the Hallett's Point Playground, just south of Astoria Boulevard. You can see from the red bullseye on the aerial. You can go to the next slide. The site consists of a paved parking lot, walkways, and a playground, all associated with the adjoining Astoria Houses campus. The site was contemplated as part of a 2013 Hallett's Point rezoning, and it was part of the final environmental impact statement, and is subject to a restrictive declaration. You can go to the next slide. That's just the kind of detail that shows what's existing on the site today. Pursuant to Section 1731 of the New York State Public Authorities Law, the New York City School Construction Authority has undertaken site selection process for a new approximately 547 to 754-seat primary intermediate school located at Block 490, Lot 102 in the Borough of Queens. The site is approximately 71,438 square feet, about 1.6 acres. Is located in Queens Community Board Number 1 and Community Education Council Number 30. The purpose of the proposed project is to provide additional long-term capacity to relieve overcrowding in District 30. The 5-year capital plan for fiscal years 25 to 29 allocates capital funding to address existing overcrowding and forecasted changes in student enrollments and to support DOE's efforts regarding class size reduction. Move to the next slide. That's just the formal from the site selection. The notice of filing of the site plan was published in AEM New York and the City Record on November 21st, 2024, which in time the Communication Council Number 30, Community Board Number 1, and the City Planning Commission were notified of the proposed site plan. Community Board 1 conducted public hearing on December 4th, 2024, and issued a letter dated January 13, 2025, in support of a new school facility, but they raised questions in regard to the larger redevelopment of the Astoria campus, which is under NYCHA's jurisdiction. CEC number 30 conducted a public hearing and on December 9th, 2024. In addition to these statutorily required meetings, the SEA also joined a series of meetings with the Astoria Houses Tenant Association on December 3rd, 2024, February 21st, 2025, and February 27, 2025, and finally again on June 13th, 2025. All public comments received on this site were considered as part of the site selection process. The slides. So this is just some visuals of the site. I can go back one. Basically, it's showing the parking lot and the playground looking south and east into the site. The SEA affirms the site plan pursuant to Section 1731 of the New York Public Authorities Law. In accordance with Section 1732 of the PAL, the SEA submitted the proposed site plan to the Mayor and City Council on a letter dated June 25th, 2025. Should SEA receive approval to acquire the property of a new primary intermediate school site, it will be constructed and is anticipated to open in 2030. The exact size of the school is not determined, but it will be from the range of 547 to 754. But it is anticipated that the school will include classrooms for pre-kindergarten through grade 8, special education classrooms, District 75 classrooms, and specialized classrooms for speech and resource, art, and reading rooms. Kitchen, cafeteria, library, gymnasium, guidance and medical suite, as well as general administrative offices. And it's also anticipated to include an at-grade play yard. We look forward to the subcommittee's favorable consideration of this proposed site plan, and pleased to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you again for joining us and for all the information. I just have one question. Have you had any conversations with the Tenants Association about the school siding? What were those conversations like? Any concerns that were raised? And also,
we met numerous times with the Tenant Association in addition to our required statutory meetings through November, December, and just recently in June. Do you want to speak more specifically?
Sure. The Tenant Association shared several concerns about the infrastructure in the residential buildings on the Astoria Houses campus, as well as dissatisfaction with the underlying ULURP that was done in 2013, which SEA was not a party to. And unfortunately, SEA does not have jurisdiction to address the infrastructure concerns on the NYCHA Astoria Houses campus.
okay, thank you for the information. I'd like to now recognize any of my colleagues who may have questions. Any questions? No? Okay. All right, well, thank you so much again for joining us and for the information. The application panel is now excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I'd like to recognize Councilmember Nurse and Salam who have joined us. Council, are there any members of the public who wish to testify on this item?
No, there are not.
Thank you. If there are any remote public participants who wish to testify and have not already done so, please press the raise hand button now. And if you're here with us in person, please see one of the sergeant-at-arms to fill out a speaker card. There being no members of the public who wish to testify regarding a pre-considered LU item for the Hallett's Point Primary Intermediate School siding, the public hearing is now closed and the item is laid over. We'll now take a brief pause. We should begin the vote soon, but for now we'll take a brief pause for a few minutes. Thank you. Thank you. We will now resume and vote to approve a pre-considered LU item for the Hallett's Point 547 to 754 seat primary and intermediate school facility siding, an application submitted by the New York City Construction Authority for the site selection for a new school facility in Councilmember Caban's district in Queens. Also, I'd like to recognize our Majority Leader, Amanda Farias, who has joined us, as well as Councilmember Marte, who has also joined us. We'll also vote to approve with modifications LUs 313 through 316 for the Carmen Villegas Apartment Senior Housing Proposal, an application by the New York City Housing Preservation and Development, also the Xylem Projects and Urban Builders Collaborative for zoning map amendment, zoning text amendment, and acquisition of property by the city and the disposition of city-owned property to facilitate the development of an affordable housing and community facility space in Councilmember Ayala's district in Manhattan. Our modification will remove MIH option number 2. I'll now call for a vote to approve the pre-considered Hallett's Point school siding application and to approve with modifications LUs 313 through 316 regarding the Carmen Villegas Apartments application. Council, please call the roll.
Okay. Acting Chair Feliz.
I vote aye on all.
Councilmember Marte.
Aye on all.
Councilmember Nurse.
I vote aye.
Majority Leader Farias.
I vote aye.
Councilmember Salam.
I vote aye.
By a vote of 5 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and 0 abstentions, the items are adopted and referred to the full Land Use Committee.
Thank you so much. That concludes today's business. I would like to thank members of the public, my colleagues, subcommittee council, land use staff, and the Sergeant-at-Arms for your participation today. This hearing is hereby adjourned.